Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast. Here again, as always, with Luke. How we doing, mate?
Yep, good mate. Episode 77. Couldn't do a show last week, and there wasn't much news really. There's been a lot of news sort of in between then and the last show we did. Obviously, the new kits have come out now, which I really like. You know, a lot of people have discussed that already. But just a quick on that. What do you think of the kits, mate? Just very quickly.
Can't stand the home kit. Really don't like it. Needs to have blue sleeves. I think with blue sleeves, I would like it a lot more. The away kit's decent. I don't know about yellow socks. But yeah,
I like the away kit. I like the away kit.
It's quite nice. I'll probably get it when it goes on sale for a £5 at the end of the season.
I'm very, very tempted to go into Basildon on Saturday to meet Tony Cotty and
Colton. Mate, my plane tickets are booked.
But really, guys, if any of you have got free time on Sunday, get yourself to the Stadium Store, because that is a photo opportunity above all others. Billy Bonds and Trevor Booking in the same photo. That's an amazing photo opportunity. So get yourself down there, guys, if you have got the time.
I remember we had a great photo opportunity at the stadium with Rob Green and Julian Phobia. It was brilliant. Really looked forward to it. Went down to get a picture with the players, and I was carrying Luke's camera, which was pink, and they took the mick out of me for having a pink camera, which was a good start. And then Luke took a wonderful picture.
Yeah, we only waited about 2 hours.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Waited all that time, and it turns out Luke had his finger over the front of the camera because he's an idiot. And I didn't get a picture at all, so it was brilliant.
I got a picture of Lanzini as well, mate.
Well, I'm not jealous about that. Not jealous about that at all.
Anyway, just wanted to touch on the kits just because that was last week's news, but just wanted to see what you think. Anyway, loads of players being linked, mate, all the time. Like the guys, obviously West Ham Fan TV and Jay, they're doing the daily updates of the transfers, really appreciating their videos. But yeah, now it's our turn, mate, to talk about it. Loads of players.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mate, I've ignored most of it because it's got to the point where it's the same every year now. Loads and loads and loads of names linked. I'm just, yeah, I always check the news and follow the Speculation, but I'm not allowing myself in any way to get dragged into it this year. Really not. I mean, of all
should we actually start with the one that signed?
Yeah.
So Fredericks has signed. Right back, been needing one, haven't we? We have been needing one. We've finally got 2 half decent ones, hopefully now. Obviously, we can't judge Fredericks yet because he hasn't played. You know, we've got Zabaleta there, and now you've got Fredericks. Again, I don't know much about him. Seen some clips of him on YouTube, see some of him in the playoff final. Pace, frightening pace. Seems to recover well as well, from what I see. You know, if he gets in a bit of trouble, got that pace to get out of danger. Him and Masuaku, left and right, you know, it could be quite formidable now.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, mate, he seems to be very quick. Likes to get forward. I same as yourself, mate. I didn't watch any Championship football last season, so can't say I've watched a whole great deal of him. But he got into the Championship team of the season, which is obviously a great sign. Got promoted. Decided obviously not to stay at Fulham. Come to West Ham.
One thing, I've heard of West Ham fans say this, and I agree. I think the way you can judge how good a player is the reaction of the fans when they leave. So Fulham fans are absolutely fuming, you know, giving him tons and tons of abuse. When a player leaves that you don't really care about, you don't really talk about it. You don't. You know, like when Snodgrass left, it's fair enough. When Tor left, fair enough.
Yeah.
When Pyatt left, you know, you're angry, you're bitter, you know, and I think, look at Arnie, when Arnie left, the Stoke fans fuming.
Yeah.
And I think that gives a good impression, you know, that we might have actually bought a decent player there.
Yeah, I hope so. Like you say, we've been crying out for a good right back. It means it's probably, I would say, it's probably the end of Sam Byram's West Ham career. Suffered massively with injuries, which is a shame. But yeah, it looks like that's probably the end for Byram. but no, it's good, and it's good to get a bit of, to inject a bit of youth into the squad as well.
Nice to get it done quick as well. Nice to have a player in quick, nice and quick. No messing around, just bosh in. Some of the ones linked, mate. Felipe Anderson, mate. This rumour just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'll tell you what, if we can pull this off, it would be an absolute worldie of a signing.
Yeah, which means straight away you just think, nah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I mean, the noises coming out seem to be like you say, mate. It could well happen. This all the in the nose seem to be saying it's very close. We've agreed terms with on a fee. Now it's sort of coming down to the payment structure, which, as we know, is where deals normally fall apart when Sullivan's involved. But yeah, I mean, if we've got to this stage, and if we have actually got to this stage in negotiations with a club, you'd like to think the player and his agent.
It's a club we've got a good relationship with as well.
Yeah, and you'd like to think the player and his agent's already sort of given us the word that he's prepared to sign. But yeah, like you say, mate, phenomenal signing. Again, if he comes in, that would lead me to think that someone is probably going to leave. Possibly Antonio, possibly Arnautovic.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about him in a bit. But yeah, for me, I think Pellegrini, again, we'll touch on him a bit in a minute as well. I think Pellegrini's desperate for a massive marquee signing. Another one we was linked with. We didn't actually discuss it because we didn't do a show last week. Was Pastore. Obviously, again, unbelievable player. He was the start of that sort of PSG revolution when the money first started coming in over there. Apparently wants like 190 grand, 200 grand a week, which is ridiculous. Like, that's a bit too much money for us. But again, amazing player if we managed to pull one of these off. Any one of them.
Yeah.
Felipe Anderson and Pastore. I read another one today as well. I think it's Serra or something like that.
Seri,
yeah. Again, any one of those, and all of a sudden your team goes a little bit further up.
Yeah, I mean, Pastore again would be a fantastic signing. Another sort of creative player in the middle. But again, this is just me probably being cynical now, trying to think, well, nothing good happens to West Ham with signings. So again, all I was thinking, as soon as we were linked with Pastore, Lanzini's gone. He's Lanzini's replacement.
Yeah, or for me it was, is it a Lanzini sweetener?
That's some sweetener. See as well, we're linked today with Pavon, Argentina forward, who basically is the player who's kept Icardi out of the Argentina squad for the World Cup. Barcelona are apparently interested in him, so I don't see any way we could actually sign him. But there's, I don't know. Is this real? Is this paper talk? Is it just because it's a South American links? I don't know. It's like I say, I've got to the point now where I'm struggling to believe any of these links. But exciting, it's exciting, and hopefully at least one of them does come off. Yeah,
a few more rumours that the Carvalho deal could be re-sparked as well. Obviously, cancelled his contract apparently, and same with their goalkeeper Rui Patricio. Apparently, we're not interested in him. But
Patricio, I think, is going to Wolves.
Yeah, great signing for them.
Yeah, Carvalho, now he's on a free transfer. You'd definitely think we'd be asking questions.
Yeah,
that's got Sullivan written all over it as. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll probably see a lot more start happening because obviously Pellegrini's still, I think he's still away in Chile. I don't know if he's back until next week. When he gets back in the country, that's probably when we'll start to see a lot more happening. I mean, his backroom staff, the director of recruitment or director of football or whatever, hasn't even been officially announced yet. It sounds like it's going to be that guy from, is he from Malaga? Can't remember his name. But it sounds like it's probably going to be him. But he hasn't even been officially announced yet. So, I don't know. I think we'll see a lot more action start happening next week. But then, obviously, we're straight into the World Cup. So, I don't know. It's a difficult time.
Yeah. Obviously, the one last one, mate, that just pops out. Obviously, that Jack Wilshere keeps poking its head up and down. Then apparently there was stuff about him on Twitter, Instagram, was it, where it was like he stopped following Arsenal, removed all the Arsenal stuff, and then now he was following West Ham, following Mark Noble. I don't know. I think some people have put a bit of 2 and 2 together there, you know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's a West Ham fan, so he's probably always been following West Ham. I don't know if you can tell when someone started following someone. I'd love it to happen. Love it to happen. I think it'd be a great signing again, especially on a free transfer. It'll be a great signing. I still can't believe he's not in the World Cup squad, to be honest.
No, mate, he's a good player. Like I say, what I love is the West Ham connection. Maybe that's a bit like, you know, old romantic sort of thing, but I like that. You know, he's going to come there and they're going to love him straight away. That's like, do you know what I mean? We're all going to love him straight away because it's West Ham, and he'll come out. I know the sort of stuff he'll be saying in his press conference if he signs, you know, Paolo was my hero and all this stuff, and straight away, boom, all of us are, yeah, we love this guy. So, I don't know, it's one of them. If something like Carvalho or that don't come off, it's definitely, you know, get that deal done. Get it over. He definitely would love to come, I think. I think if the right offer was there, he would come. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. We do definitely need a holding midfielder, though. We really do.
I think in terms of what I'm looking at with Pellegrini, in terms of what formation he might play now, I've sort of maybe changed what I think we will get. I think he will possibly now go for the central defensive mid and 2 wingers. I think 2 wingers will come in for the pace. And that's why he's looking at your Felipe Andersons, your Pastores. There was another one, the Middlesbrough guy, Traore. Amon Traore, yeah. And maybe that's the sort of formation he's going to be looking at playing, like with electric wingers, electric fullbacks, and then hopefully Arnie at the focal point of it all. And then you got like Lanzini, hopefully again pulling the strings with the real good solid CDM. I don't know. Apparently he likes playing 4 at the back, so that would take away the back thing. Yeah,
I mean, I've seen from a lot of stuff I've seen from him, he seems to like to play what's pretty much a 4-2-2-2. So like four defenders, but with very attacking fullbacks, 2 defensive midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders that can play wide, and 2 strikers. I'd love to see that formation. I mean, immediately I'm straight away thinking Arnautovic and Hernandez up front could be fantastic. You know, Lanzini and then say Felipe Anderson just behind them. Wow, how good could that be? Carvalho and then say possibly Obiang behind them, and then a back 4 with Masuaku and Fredericks overlapping.
There are rumours that he really does fancy Chiatti though. I was listening to X's podcast last week, and X was saying that he sees Chiatti as potentially being his Yaya Toure, obviously not as good, but you know, he definitely sees something in him, and maybe, you know, under some new ideas he might, because there is a player in him. There's a player in there. There is a player in there, definitely.
Interestingly as well, I know someone will probably talk about again a bit later, but Declan Rice has played the last couple of internationals in defensive midfield. He's got man of the match both games, so you know, you could even see Declan being put into that role.
Let's talk about him, mate. Obviously, contract negotiations going on. Apparently, he has turned down $8,000 a week, which I agree, mate. It's an insult. It's an absolute insult. Look, listen, we can all sit here on the fence and give it $8,000. You know, 19 years old. Reece Oxford got $30,000 a week for 1 good game. Declan was second hammer of the year last year. No doubt that he's a starter. One of the first names on the team sheet now. Give the guy $30,000 a week at least. At least.
I don't know if I'd be saying $30,000 at least. I'd probably be saying to him $20,000 plus add-ons. I think he deserves to be on more than $8,000 a week. Which again, just those words coming out of your mouth is just weird. Yeah. It's just crazy. Imagine having $8,000 a week.
No one deserves it, but in terms of where football is and his performances compared to others that are on more, he deserves
his payments in relation. One thing I did read today from someone that I did think was a very interesting point was you have to be careful, and this is possibly what happened with Reece Oxford. you've got to be careful, because if say we go in and we say, there you go, bang, 40 grand a week. He's a 19-year-old kid on 40 grand a week. What's his motivation? That's it. He's sorted for the rest of his life. And you've got to be careful. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be careful you don't do that.
Though, the thing is now, even these young players, their agents, they've got them like that. They really have got the club like that, because they know, again, he's getting rave reviews all over the place. You know, next Ireland captain, probably next West Ham captain. You know, if someone like Chelsea, I don't know, maybe someone like Arsenal, even Tottenham come in, oh yeah, 50 grand a week. And then what do you do? It's tough. I understand what you're saying as well. Totally understand it, because do you lose that little bit in your teeth? Like, oh, I've made it. I'm 19 years old. I've made it. Do you know what I mean? Mortgage is paid. Everything. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think there's any doubt that he will sign a new contract. I mean, he will sign a new contract. I'm guessing they'll renegotiate, and it probably will end up somewhere closer to sort of 20 grand, I reckon. But I mean, the wage structure at our club is weird. If you believe
he's only on 35 grand a week.
That's literally what I was about to say. That's literally what I was about to say, mate. I mean, the wage structure at West Ham is all over the place. Like you say, you've got Lanzini, potentially our second best player, on sort of 30 grand a week. You've got Andy Carroll, who never plays, on 120 grand a week. You've got Hernandez, who didn't play last season, on 150 grand a week. You know,
Everett was on 75 grand a week, mate.
It's all over the place. It's all over the place. There doesn't seem to be a real wage structure at the club. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think he will. They'll get it sorted and he'll sign.
Someone like Lanzini, again, he's another one. Contract talks are ongoing. For me personally, he's got to be put on that sort of 80 grand a week sort of money.
Oh, he'll get it.
80 grand a week.
He'll get it. They won't sign anything until after the World Cup. They won't sign anything until after the World Cup. They'd be stupid to. Because if he has a great World Cup, if he scores a goal or two, and he does well, he'll probably leave West Ham anyway. But then they'll be demanding crazy money.
Yeah, one of the players that obviously could leave, mate, Arnie, you know, them rumours, you know, they're still there. And there's that smoke without fire stuff. Lots of stuff about Jose contacting his agent. Obviously, you see some stuff, I think, on Knees Up Mother Brown, weren't it, mate? Yeah,
basically saying that the Manchester United interest is real. And if they do come in, obviously, you know, common sense, he's pretty much gone. You're not going to keep him if he wants to leave for Man United, and of course he will. I mean, why wouldn't he? And
I think he's got potential to be a poisonous apple as well if he doesn't get his move.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the worry, is if we don't let him move, if we try and block the transfer, he throws his toys out the pram, can upset the dressing room. He's done it before. I'll no doubt do it again. I mean, all you can hope really is that we get a decent value for him. Really, I mean, that's all you can hope. Yeah,
I don't want to see him go. You know, fantastic player. You know, he's one of the closest to sort of Paolo for a while. But, you know, 29, 50 million pound, you know, if he is going to go, 50 million pound for a 29-year-old, doubling your money in a year, you've got to say that's not bad business.
That would be ridiculously good business. If we got 50 million for him, that would be phenomenal. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. He was fantastic for us, absolute game changer, pretty much carried us for half of a season. You know, don't forget, at the start of the season when he first came in, he weren't great. He didn't really play well under Bilic. Yeah, he turned himself around under Moyes. Who's to say he's going to be that same player under Pellegrini?
Yeah, there is that risk as well, mate, that has been discussed over the other West Ham channels. Yeah, who's to say that he won't clash with Pellegrini in the first pre-season game and then decide, you know what, I don't really fancy it, and he stops running again, and I don't know. I want him to stay.
Oh yeah, I'd rather he stayed and carried on as he finished last season. But if Man United slap 50 million on the table, you've got to take it. You've got to take it, and you know you wouldn't begrudge him that move. Obviously, he's going to want the move. Like I say, the worst possible thing that could happen is they come in with something like, you know, 25, 30 million, and Sullivan goes, oh yeah, you know, that's what you don't want. We need to get value for him if we're going to sell him.
Yeah, no, I agree. As long as you get that 50 million figure, then, like you say, mate, you can't stand in his way in terms of his last chance at a real big club. And, yeah, it'd be unfortunate, but hopefully that goes straight back into the kitty in terms for him to spend as well. That's what I want to see as well. Not, yeah, we've sold him for 50, you can have 10 million of that. It's, you've got 75 million plus the 50 million that we've gained, and then you've got some serious weight there, haven't you, to buy players.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's the case. I don't know whether, I mean, like I say, the players that we're looking at, Anderson, potential Arnautovic replacement, Pastore, potential Lanzini replacement, that does worry me. It does worry me. You know, is their strategy sell to buy?
But are they upgrades though? Would you not consider them upgrades though?
Anderson over Arnautovic, yeah. I would consider that an upgrade. Pastore over Lanzini, no, purely based on age. But I don't know. We don't. It would be.
They're the wrong players to be upgraded.
Yeah, exactly. We need to add to our best players, not replace them. Yeah, you know, exactly that. You know, we need to keep hold of our best players, and then we need to bring the same level of player to play around them, not replace them and then just leave the rest of the squad as is.
Yeah. Some rumours about Antonio as well. Some strong rumours to Burnley and Crystal Palace. Another one. I won't be sad to see him go if he does go. I'll be honest with you. I won't be sad to see him go. He's a good player. Was a fantastic player that last season at Upton Park. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be exactly the same, mate. If he left, I wouldn't be too devastated. I do think he's a good player. He's got potential, but there was lots of shouts about him being a bit too big for his boots, you know. And there were too many of them too consistently for it to not be true. Do you know what I mean? There must be something in it. And you don't want to see that. And no, I mean, he hasn't played much. He's been injured. When he has played, he hasn't been the same since Payet left. And if it's another one of those. If he goes, well, if he stays, great.
Yeah. No, great. Just going to move on, mate, to Pellegrini. Some of that stuff that was in the papers this week in terms of apparently an interview in Chile where he said that the owners need to loosen their pockets basically and start spending money. Again, I don't know whether he's sort of aiming that in terms of Sullivan and Gold or aiming that at sort of past experiences. I don't know, but I don't know. You can't read too much into it, but you certainly have to believe that he's pushing for something. You know, he wants that big boy signing to, and it's true exactly what he said. If we get one through the door, another one could come very quickly straight after it as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that he's saying that kind of thing. I do think you have to be wary of the whole thing because our worldie, that it was translated and this, that, and the other. And he's obviously released a statement since then saying that everything's fine between him and the board. They're working well together. So, yeah, I don't know how much of that is accurate or not. Regardless, it has highlighted, again, in the press, very publicly, the fact that we do need to spend money. And anything that puts pressure on Sullivan like that is a good thing. You know. I like to think that he's not going to be a manager who's just going to sit there and take it if they do start screwing him. You know, he's going to make some noise about it. I said actually one of the biggest things he could do, and I'm not sitting there being negative, please don't put that on me, is if that was the case and he wasn't backed, then I would love to see him just walk. Because that would be one of the biggest statements ever against the board if he wasn't back this year. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. Again, something else that I read today, with the likes of, you know, pretty much every manager we've employed underneath them, possibly with the exception of Allardyce, they've all been grateful for the job. Do you know what I mean? They've all needed the job and that after leaving West Ham, none of them have really done anything. So, you know, they've been grateful for the job. They've kept their mouth shut. They've been happy to just be in work. Pellegrini don't have to worry about that. You know, if he walks out of West Ham, if he leaves West Ham, he's got his reputation. He'll go into another job, no problem whatsoever. He's old enough now where he could retire, so he probably don't need to worry too much about it.
Did you read the again, another great West Ham manager, Avram Grant's little interview as well? Did you read that at all?
Didn't know.
In terms of, he was basically saying that, you know, West Ham are a great club, but any manager going there will potentially suffer under that board at the moment unless they're backed. And it's basically repeating sort of what we say. And I'm trying not to be negative anymore in terms of the board. You know, that they've hurt us a lot, the West Ham fans, but, you know, they're getting their chance this year. Let's see what happens. But it is true, though, like, there's no manager that will succeed there if they're not prepared to pay the money.
No. And it seems pointless as well. What's the point in bringing in a big name manager on a big contract and not backing him? It makes no sense whatsoever. But I mean, this is it. This is it. This is sort of last chance saloon. You know, they've done the first bit right. They've got the right manager, hopefully. Now they've got to do the next bit, and they've got to put their money where their mouths are, and back him in the transfer market and give him the team that he needs to progress us as a club. And this is the big
the players he wants, the players that he needs for his formation, not what David Sullivan needs for a cheap night out. Basically. Just a little one. The fixtures are released next week, guys. In next week's podcast, obviously, if we do it, hopefully we'll do it after they're released, you know, and we'll go through them. There was a little mini leak in terms of what they potentially could have been. It was Liverpool away, if you go by that. But I think there was a leak last year and it was totally wrong, so don't read too much into that. Let's talk about the World Cup, mate. Let's do a sort of little preview of it. It all kicks off next Thursday, this time next week. Russia kick us off against Egypt, I believe. Excited. I'm very excited. You know, can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love the World Cup. Although I will say the opening game is probably the least exciting opening game I can think of for a long time.
Friday night is the one, Spain-Portugal.
Yeah.
That's like the bigger sort of, for me, like the proper opening of the World Cup, you know, when the big boys come and play. And it doesn't, for me, even then, it doesn't kick off until you see Brazil play. I think that's when you know, like, yeah, this is the World Cup now. Brazil have come out and played.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm a little bit gutted. I think this will be the first time in a ridiculously long time I won't actually be able to watch all of the games during the day because of work. It's the first time I would have been working during the day. So that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I love the World Cup. I can't wait to get for it to start and to all kick off.
Yeah. In terms of winning, looking at teams, I think you can never look past the Germans, but there's probably, I don't know, 5 teams in there that might have a chance.
There's a lot of teams in there. I did one of the predictor things the other day, and honestly, once you get to the kind of semi-final stage, anyone can win it. You know, you like to Germany, Spain, Brazil, France. Like there's I don't know, when it gets to that kind of stage, anyone can win it. It's tough to call.
Yeah. I'd say, looking at a team that I really like watching, obviously France. Again, it's the same sort of thing. Fantastic team of individuals. Can they perform as a team? If they do, amazing. You know, if they can perform as a team, they've got a massive chance. So probably the best 11 in terms of team. Maybe not the best player in terms of your Neymars and your Jesus and people like that. But I think in terms of best 11, I think France have the best 11. Starting 11.
It's a bold statement. I don't know. When you look at,
Kante, Pogba, Griezmann, Lamar, Varane, Lloris in goal, so on and so on and so on.
Brazil have
Belgium
have got a good squad.
Best 11.
Brazil have got a ridiculous team this tournament. I don't know. Argentina are ridiculously strong going forward.
Yeah, the Argies. We hadn't even mentioned the Argies.
Ridiculously strong.
And I really do hope Lanzini has a good World Cup. I really do. You know, I don't want him to leave West Ham, but I'd love to see him score a few goals. I really would. It'd be great for him because he deserves it. You know, again, he's one of these players. He's not going to be at West Ham forever. Maybe if we do keep him, it probably only will be for one more year. I think in terms of that, but. Would love to see it. Like you say, mate, the boys you're wearing there, Spain, look fantastic. They've looked really good pre-tournament as well. The Germans, as I say. Belgium, if they turn up. England, any call for England, mate? I thought it was poor against Nigeria, to be honest. I did actually watch a little bit of that.
No, I can't. But the problem is, and that like, I know I will get a lot of stick for this, but I don't follow the England football team. I don't agree with the way the team's picked. I just don't like the way they're hyped up in the press every tournament, and then invariably when they go out at the quarterfinal stage, they get completely caned. I can't stand all that. I can't stand the whole thing around the England football team. I hate it. Can't stand it. Unless there's a West Ham player playing for England, which doesn't happen very often. Honestly, I've got no interest in the England football team. And they're not one of the best teams in the world. They're not. If they get to
they get found out very quickly.
If they get to the quarterfinals, that's a result for England. It is. Yeah.
And it's different. It's like, you know, they play that friendly against Argentina. They play that friendly against Germany. Oh, when they beat Germany, that is a friendly. Trust me, when it's tournament mode,
that does not happen
these Germans,
in a tournament.
These Spanish teams, they're not switching off. You know, they're on it. What about a surprise package? Is there anyone like sort of you're looking forward to watching that is not your standard? I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing how someone like Nigeria does or Senegal. You know, some of them African teams, they can be quite exciting.
The African nations are quite exciting. I'll be interested to see how Egypt do if Salah.
Yeah, Salah gets fit.
Because Egypt are not they're not a great team, but they're not a bad team really. Colombia. Always interesting.
Zlatan, if he has been picked, I assume he has been picked. He did come out of international retirement, didn't he?
So yeah,
Switzerland always good package. You've got Christian Eriksen as well. You know, he's a good one to watch. Croatia always can be very, very dangerous. You know, they do turn up. Croatia, very good at getting like to quarterfinal sort of stages. Top goal scorer, mate. Have you got a little tip? I'll tell you my double tip that I have done after you've give us your top goal scorer tips.
Top goal scorer. I don't know.
Do you fancy someone like Messi to have like his swan song World Cup?
See, this is the thing. Messi and Ronaldo, it's going to be their last World Cup. I don't know.
Or is it Neymar's day? Is it? I really fancy Jesus. This is not my bet, but I really do fancy Jesus for top goal scorer.
Possibly. But I don't know. Who's going to be Germany's main striker? Is it Werner?
Well, Muller still gets picked, mate, and Gomez. Gomez still gets picked.
So I don't know.
Giroud's a good outside bet as well. Giroud starts. But my bet, double, 160 to 1, is Kane and Spain.
Okay.
Spain to win the World Cup. And Harry Kane top goal scorer.
The only reason I can't see that happening is because I don't think England will be in the tournament long enough.
No, what I'm going on that Harry Kane could potentially get 2 or 3 in the group stage. Against Panama, he could score 2.
I mean, he could, but then I think there's a lot of players that could get 2 or 3 in the group stage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's just a wild bet.
You never know. You never know.
60 to 1. I thought it was good odds. I fancy Spain. I like the thing that it rhymed, Spain and Kane. So I thought I'm going to have some of that and put that on. I probably will put Jesus as well and something like Brazil and a couple of other bets during the tournament. But yeah, I don't know. I quite fancy Spain to win it again. Yeah. Anything else, mate, that you would like to talk about before we do some questions?
No, I don't think I've seen much else going on this week, to be honest.
Other sport, obviously, return of the Mac. Mr. Tyson Fury returns to the ring on Saturday. Quite looking forward to it. You know, he's a character. Or a Maverick, as the program I've been watching on Netflix at the minute, Mavericks. He is one of them. It's great to see him back. And obviously,
what do you think? Assuming he eventually gets his fight with AJ, what do you think?
Beats him.
You think he beats AJ?
Beats him. Yeah,
I can't see it.
I don't think AJ gets near him.
Fury ain't got a chin. If AJ catches him, he's gone.
Or if AJ hits him,
if he catches him, he's gone. I can't.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I do honestly think if Wilder hits AJ, it's all gone. I think if the AJ Wilder fight happens, if Wilder hits him, he's gone.
I don't know.
But it's whether he actually hits him.
I don't know. I don't.
His movement's not that great. Like AJ's a ruthless fighter, but he's not actually got like his head movement. I'm talking like I'm an expert here. He's like his head movement's not there. Like Tyson Fury, you watch videos of him, he does have fantastic movement. Fury, he's got great movement.
He's a big plodder. I don't know. I can't see. I can't see how he could beat him. I can't.
I don't know. A lot of the pundits say Fury wins as well. You know, like your Johnny Nelsons and people like that. It's like,
I mean, like the Klitschko fight was a joke, really. Like the Klitschko that fought AJ would have destroyed Fury. He would have destroyed him. I don't know. I can't see a Fury win, but it'd be interesting. Hopefully, it happens. I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, no, I want it to happen, mate. A great fight. You know, great British, all British fight. It'd be fantastic. Another good fight made today. Dillon White versus Joseph Parker. I really do like Dillon White. Actually, you know, he did well against AJ, and he's a bit of again character. I like him. He's I don't know. I like him. I like him a lot, and he's apparently if he wins that fight, he becomes #1 contender for Deontay Wilder's belt. So maybe he might win that, and then Dillon might fight Deontay first before he fights AJ. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's interesting. Very interesting. Let's do the questions anyway. Let's have a look here. Give me 2 seconds. Right, here we go. Sorry, I just cut your name out of the screenshot there. I do apologise. Here are some players in the midfield role that we have been linked with. Who would you take? You can only pick 2. Pastore, Carvalho, Wilshere, Mario, Madison, Loftus-Cheek, and I'm going to throw in Anderson as well. So.
Well, Anderson. I'd take Anderson out because he's too good of a player. He obviously gets picked. Right. So of the others, that's it.
Got to be Carvalho.
I would say Carvalho because we need that defensive midfielder.
It's needed.
And then for me,
and that's someone who can spray.
For me, it would then be between Wilshere and Loftus-Cheek.
I was going to say, I really do like Loftus-Cheek. I think he could be. It'd be nice to see an exciting young English player there as well. Let me just have Mario. Again, we didn't really discuss Mario. No. Mate. Mario, we're trying to get him back on loan. Apparently, he rates himself apparently that he is a £40 million player. I wouldn't say he's a £40 million player, but I wouldn't mind him back.
I'd be more than happy to see him back. I wouldn't pay £40 million for him. You know, if we could get him for a decent fee or get him back on loan, 100%.
Yeah. Sam Chaplin. Realistically, who would you like us to sign? Well, like Paul said, let's take away Anderson because we'd love that. You know, that's like marquee, massive signing. But yeah, I think it's Jack for me. I think Jack would be a really, really good signing for us. I know some West Ham fans are going to sit there going, he's sick. No, listen, he's a fantastic player. And Arsenal fans, you watch Arsenal fan TV, they worship him. They absolutely worship Jack Wilshere. And I work with an Arsenal fan as well. They love him. They absolutely love him, you know. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would love to see Jack come in. I would like to... what was the guy's name? Who's the defender? Was it Santos? The Brazilian defender?
It's got a bit quiet, hasn't it?
It's got a bit quiet. He could be interesting to come in.
Shaqiri as well. I know I keep...
looks like he's going to Liverpool now.
Yeah, but Liverpool now?
I think so, yeah. Which is a weird one because I don't see him as a Liverpool player. He's not, like, quick.
I was going to say, Will they play him Cam then?
Mm.
Will they play him central attacking mid? Because the wingers is Salah and Mane, isn't
Yeah.
it? But what do you make of that, mate? Sane not going to the World Cup as well for Germany.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. Like, I mean, the thing is with Germany,
They don't play wingers.
no, and similar to Argentina, like they've got such a strong squad. There are going to be. I mean, look at France.
Hollah didn't go.
Look at France. The players that missed out for France.
Xiao.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads and loads of players that missed out that probably should have gone. It just shows the strength in depth these teams have at the minute.
Definitely. Serif, what is your biggest fear or phobia? Well, I'm terrified of bats.
Luke's terrified of everything.
But
and frogs.
I don't like frogs. I don't like needles.
Big cockroaches.
Don't like spiders.
I don't know. I don't really have any phobias.
Don't like work. No.
yeah. I don't like work. Yeah, I wouldn't say I've got any phobias really. I don't know. You probably know me better than anyone, mate. I don't know. Can you think?
I don't know. I remember you saying you're scared of bees or something.
I don't like bees. I wouldn't say I'm scared of them. Like, I don't freak out or anything, but I don't really like bees.
No, bats. I'm terrified.
I don't like for example, I don't know if you remember it, like we used to live in Spain and there was that year with all the flying cockroaches.
Ugh.
That was not nice. That's put me down for that. I don't like flying cockroaches.
Yeah. Surf again. With Freddie coming in as our new right back, where do you see Zabaleta playing under Pellegrini?
He'll be on the bench, won't
he? Yeah, I think you'll see Zabaleta starting the season, and then Fredericks will play the rest. I think.
I don't know. I think I think he'll chuck him straight in, and I think Zabaleta he'll be that sort of seasoned pro in the dressing room. Yeah, I can see Zabaleta being a backup.
Also, do you guys see Adrian staying at the club or moving on this summer? I'd like to see him stay. But, if a new goalkeeper was to come in, who knows? It depends sort of the quality of the goalkeeper that comes in, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree completely. Obviously, that's another one we need to sign. We need to sign a goalkeeper. We've only got Adrian at the minute. And Trott, obviously. Although, as I think I've said before, I wouldn't mind seeing Adrian stay as our number one and have Trott as the backup keeper. I would like to see that. But yeah, I'd like to see Adrian stay, but exactly the same as you, mate. If a new goalkeeper comes in, a new quality goalkeeper comes in, then he's probably going to go. He wants to be playing.
Yeah. What's this? West Ham Bible. Thoughts on Ryan Fredericks? Who else do we need to bring in, and where do you think we will finish? Yeah, Fredericks. I think me and Paul both said it already. Very, very happy. Loads of pace. Very exciting player. In terms of where we will finish, again, we've got to see who we need to sign, and the players we need to sign: Wilshere, Carvalho, Henderson, Pastore. List goes on. Sign all them. Good top 8 finish, but if we don't sign all them, you're going to be looking at bottom 10 again. No?
Yeah, I agree completely, mate.
SB, if it was your choice, do you take a chance on Pastore or give Mario another chance in the team? We can't have both.
That's interesting. I mean, you would say Pastore is a better player, but then Mario is younger.
And he definitely was showing good stuff.
And he is a good player.
The last sort of 4 or 5 games. Lovely touch, sort of swagger on the ball.
I don't know. That's a good question.
If you brought in Carvalho as well, 2 players that have played with each other in a winning Euro Portuguese team, then maybe you're looking at them 2 as pairing.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Next one says, Adam, Hi guys, I know a lot depends on what players we have in the future, but with current squad, what do you think our best formation will be next year? Like I say, he likes playing four at the back, doesn't he? So
Yeah, but he does like playing four at the back. With our current squad, it's difficult to. I think it's difficult to get away from playing five at the back, just because we don't have that solid defensive midfielder to screen the defence.
yeah, without that, it's quite difficult. Yeah. Serif, again, these are some of the questions we missed last week, guys, so I think we've got a few. So Serif says, don't mean to be cheeky, greedy, noncy, but what is your favourite brand / flavour of crisp?
It's too noncy, mate. I'm not answering that.
I don't know. I like them Max Paprika ones. Mate. I like sour cheese and cream Pringles. Yeah, I do love them ones. They're one of my favourite flavour crisps.
Max Paprikas. I had a pack of these just before. Great crisps.
I do like as well, bit of a sort of randomly crisp. I like them Royston's T-bone steak as well.
Do you know what was really good? The Walkers they're doing at the minute, the like flavours of the past sort of thing.
Beef and onion, lovely.
One of them's a tikka masala. Oh, lovely.
Ooh,
oh.
Lovely. Let us know your favourite crisps at the bottom. Sarah, how much money should we be asking for Manchester United to pay for Arnie if the rumours are actually true? Josie wanting him at the theatre of Ferguson's dreams.
50 million.
50 million.
Easy. I mean, we don't need to sell him. We don't want to sell him. I don't think he's worth 50 million, but that's what I'd ask for him. You know, yeah. I would say, if we were being realistic, and what I think he's actually probably worth, I'd say he's probably worth about 35, but I wouldn't take anything less than 50.
Need to sell him.
Exactly, we don't need to sell him. He's on a long contract. I wouldn't let him go for anything less than 50.
Yeah. Ken Elfield, I like the blue away kit, but who thought of those yellow socks? Is it a good idea or is it just me?
Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocking. I don't know what happened. I'm looking forward to seeing the third kit because I do like the third kit usually. Apparently it's grey this year. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, like I say, I'm not a fan of the home kit at all. I don't like the home kit with claret sleeves. I do quite like the away. Yeah, yellow socks, bad idea. I don't really like the yellow badge either, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, weird yellow socks.
Yeah, I mean yellow. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Bit of a random colour for West Ham, isn't it? Yellow. Yeah. That is it for the questions, guys. Thank you very much. Not the longest show in the world, but again, we're trying to keep it nice and condensed. We don't want to rumble on too much. Next week, we'll go through the fixtures, hopefully, and obviously probably talk about a few of them World Cup games coming up. And hopefully we've signed a new player with this Felipe Anderson, you know, that seems to be ticking over fast. So it'd be nice if they do announce that next week. That would be amazing. But, yeah, we're nearly near 2,500 guys. I think it's about 112 away. So please get us out there. Keep subscribing. As I say, we'll do some competition or something to celebrate that. Until then, guys, keep tuning in, and any players that sign, we'll try and do some transfer videos. Until then, come on, you irons, keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.